Welcome back to the Morning, Noon, and Night Show. I'm joined now by local author and activist Talia Karner, who has a recent book out, China Doll. Thank you so much for coming down here this morning.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a great, beautiful day in Bridgehampton.
Isn't it wonderful? It's great to be out here, and I really enjoyed your book, China Doll. I have it here. It's a novel, but it's also based on a very serious crisis going on in China with infanticide. Can you tell me about the book?
Yes. Well, the book is really a suspense novel that deals with the stories about a pop singer on a concert tour in China when a baby is thrust into her arms, and she finds herself wanting to keep this baby against the wishes and agendas of everybody around her. So as a suspense book, it tells a good story that involves the music industry, media frenzy, and of course political background about US-China relationship. But the premise is what would happen to the baby if she doesn't save her. And that is where we get into the issue of infanticide, the killing of baby girls in China.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem lies. And I was surprised when the book came out how little information is currently available about the scope of this problem. I thought it was something that everybody knew about, so I took it for granted.
Well, tell me, how prevalent is infanticide?
I had to do my own calculations because turns out that all the organizations that a decade ago recorded infanticide in China stopped, dead cold. The latest we had in 1996, we had Human Rights Watch, 1997 World Health Organization, 1998 and 99 the US State Department, all published scathing report about the orphanages in China where the death rate was 80%, and about infanticide in China in general. 160-page reports. 10 years later, last year when the book came out, I found out that nobody has done anything since.
Why have they stopped?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the arms of China are very long. I'm not sure. But the fact is that they have stopped. So I ended up having to do my own research. And it wasn't that complicated, parts of it. I took the figures, birth rate, out of UNICEF for the 2005 year. And it was 17,310,000.
Wow.
And the Chinese Civil Law of Local Affairs published the boy-girls ratio for 2005 is standing at 121 to 100. So I just superimposed one number over the other, and I saw 1.7 million girls missing. So that I did in about 3 minutes right on my desk. When that didn't seem to get anybody's attention, I hired some Chinese researchers in Chinese language and did some more research and found a lot more about what's happening to these girls.
Well, I think it's just terrific what you're doing. You know, you're making an enjoyable novel that's drawing attention to a serious crisis, and you're also doing your own original research. How did you get involved in this topic?
As a novelist, I asked, what if? What if somebody just dropped a girl in my arm, a baby in my arms, and I would love her just the same, and I know about the commitment of adoptive parents to their children and how far they would go to do anything, the same thing that a biological parent would do. I was adopted by my father, and I had that wonderful relationship with him. So that's what if type of a premise that a novelist would take.
All right, well, I can't wait to see what comes up next. Where can people learn more about you?
Yeah, well, obviously on my website there's a lot of information, and
that's taliakarner.com.
Yes, yes. And I also presented this at the UN in March 2007 at the conference on the status of women. So that was my chance to actually put infanticide on the agenda. For the first time ever in the UN. Needless to say, the Chinese government vetoed it. I did it under the Italian Commission, by the way, for some strange reasons. But anyway, that presentation and all this hard data are available on my website. So I encourage people who are interested to go and again, www.taliakarner.com. And I'd like also to say that because this is a very important human rights issue, obviously the first human right is the right to live. And next year, 2008, we expect the games in Beijing, the
Yes.
Olympic Games. There are going to be thousands of reporters and journalists descending upon China. I would like to encourage people to force and ask their local media to go out and poke around.
It is. It's a great opportunity to bring exposure, so thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Go to taliacarner.com to learn more. Don't go away. We'll be back in a second with more Morning Noon Night Show, and Chris will be bringing us the Dog of the Month finale.